shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Danny, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, girls of your day. Good morning, Frederick, rise and shine. City so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Good morning, Frederick, rise and shine. A city so lively, gotta make it mine. From downtown streets to the Carroll Creek view, there's something special here, you feel it too. Your host Annie, here to guide the way with a big smile. She brightens up your day, girls of your day. Good morning, Frederick, rise and shine. A city so light.
Hi, I'm Allie Vasquez, the owner of the Walkersville Living Facebook and YouTube pages, and you're watching Good Morning Frederick.
Oh, geez, Louise. Okay. Goodness gracious. What is happening? Oh, my gosh. Good morning, Frederick. I thought I had it all down. Today is Thursday, March 20th. I'm your host, Danny Gurry. Cannot go a single day without something going wrong. For some reason, the show isn't streaming to certain places anymore. I don't know why. So, again, always appreciate if you see the stream, if you share it into some of the local Facebook groups. YouTube is always the best place to find Good Morning Frederick. How are you today? I hope you're having a great day so far. Boy, the weather yesterday was phenomenal. I tell you, it makes me itch for the nice weather. But today is the first day of spring, and that is exciting for sure. I just posted a TikTok. If you're not following me on TikTok, you can. I think it's Danny, just Danny, on there. But I am attempting to grow a garden, and you can follow along with my suburban journey with a raised garden bed, because I'm old and I don't want to bend down too much. But anyway, hopefully I'll get the boxes in this weekend, and my little starter seeds are some of them are starting to sprout, which is so exciting. I go up every day and I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh boy, it's the little things, right? It is the little things. All right, here's what's happening on the show today. We're going to have the morning roundup with Bob Miller and Chris Michaels from WFMD's Morning News Express, with local news, weather, and sports, plus some laughs. Always something happening there. And speaking of what's happening, I'm going to highlight some of the events going on in and around Frederick. We were talking about this yesterday. I could literally not work a job and go to events 7 days a week and be busy 24 hours a day almost. It is unbelievable. Frederick's got so many great things happening. It's unfortunate sometimes because you miss something to attend something else. If you've got that FOMO, it is horrible because you're seeing people at one thing and you're at another thing, and you try to get around to everything possible, but it is not possible. So, and then we talked to Kevin from Frederick Auto Body. I had a great conversation with him, a local business that's been around here for a long time. I love getting to know these local business owners. And speaking of, Nick and Sean have written a children's book for the win. They're actually hopefully going to have a series, but I got to chat with them. I just think it's awesome when people decide to do fun stuff like that and just follow their dreams. I mean, that's what life is all about, right? Following your dreams, going with your gut and just giving it a go. I was talking about that with Daisy. You're going to meet her next week, and you just got to go with your gut sometimes. All right, buy the merch, and Wags for Hope will benefit this month. Any Good Morning Frederick merchandise you purchase, 100% of the proceeds go to a local charity every month. And this month it is Wags for Hope. The shop is open today from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Also today through Sunday, to be honest. And you can stop by, or you can now order online. You can go to promocircus.com and you can see the merchandise, the shop there. I think it's promocircus.com/shop to purchase online. And you can pick it up at the store, or you can have it shipped to you. And if you live close to me, let me know, and I'll deliver it. I'll hand deliver it, which I did for one order because I didn't get notified that the order was placed. I felt horrible. The order was placed like on the 13th, and I didn't see it till like the 17th. So I hand delivered that one. But anyway, we can have time to ship it. Want to say good morning to Tara. Yes, we did the sip and paint last night. I got to find the photo. Maybe I'm sure Christy posted it. They're so much fun. We had such a great time, and looking forward to doing that again soon. And, look, I think that life is all about enjoying and, having fun with friends. All right, let's go ahead and we'll get this Thursday started. Gotta thank our show sponsor, Rita's Italian Ice and Frozen Custard of Frederick. Today, open noon to 9. It is the first day of spring. Do you know what that means? That means free Italian ice all day today. If I don't see a line at Rita's at noon, I'll be very disappointed. You can also, while you're at that window getting your free ice, how about grabbing a hot pretzel or an iced coffee to go with it? Or one of the Reese's concretes. And if you can't get to Rita's, they can come to you, not with free ice, of course. But if you want something else, you can order on Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats. And they can cater an event. They sell the ice by the gallons, and even larger if you want. If you're doing a big school function or a large event like a wedding, you can have Rita's ice there, which would be kind of cool. All right, no reason not to have Rita's. All right, I think Bob has jumped in the studio. Let's see what's happening locally. Morning Roundup is sponsored by Auto Trim Design of Mid-Maryland. Window tinting, paint protection film, ceramic coating, vinyl wraps like on the Good Morning Frederick car. Also, customized leather upholstered car seats. They can take care of all your aftermarket enhancements. Auto Trim Design of Mid-Maryland, accessories for any lifestyle. Find them on Urbana Pike or at autotrim-md.com. Well, good morning.
Good. You caught me. I'm sorry. I was trying to make myself look. Oh, no, never mind. Doesn't
You
work.
got your hair cut, I think. Did you?
I did get it cut, and it's way easier to take care of and not look as bad. Still looks bad, but yeah. I went in, and the guy was like, they ask you, of course, how you want it cut. And I'm like, I really don't care. It's still growing back. When it stops growing, I'll start caring. I did notice, though, that I'm getting a little more grayer in certain areas. I got it here, but this was not going gray. And I looked the other day. It's over here now, I think, on this side. And I looked I was with Linda standing there in front. I'm like, oh, no, I'm going gray.
Got some shiny bits in there. I know. Sometimes my gray catches the light, and I'm like, oh, Lord.
Right? So, I mean, I am 62, so I figured someday it's going to go gray, just, not real sure when. And I will not be one of those people that color my hair. Won't do it.
Yeah. I do color my hair. I'm a little vain, so yeah. I don't know. My mom, I have to say though, my parents both have beautiful salt and pepper hair. That it was all even and looked great. I'm trying to remember though when my dad went gray. I started finding gray hairs a long time ago. But my mom originally, when she went gray, it was kind of patchy in the back, and now it's beautiful. But yeah, and actually these young people are dyeing their hair gray as a thing.
I know. I don't get it. I had a girl in high school. I won't mention her name, but she had jet black hair. Beautiful young lady. Jet black hair. 5-year reunion, almost all gray.
Really?
Yes.
5 years out of high school. Wow.
Yeah. Right?
She was ahead of the trend.
Yeah, right. I guess so.
I mean, these kids pay a lot of money to go gray. It's really crazy.
Just go with age. It'll happen eventually. It'll happen.
I'm just jumping in this conversation here, but just to let you know, I'm on the trend too. I dyed my beard gray, a little bit gray. So this is all just dye. Yeah. I'm too young to have gray.
Sprinkled through the beard.
Yeah, that's kind of like mine too. I'm like, I got it there and there, and I don't think I'll ever take this off. I shaved one time when I was younger. I shaved all this off, and my kids were smaller, and they started crying. They're like, "What did you do with my daddy?"
Yeah, I don't think I have, other than pictures. My father has always had a mustache. A couple of times he had a beard, but he always has had a mustache. So I'd probably cry too, even now, if he shaved it.
Yeah. So I can't really grow like a Chris Michael beard, so I don't ever try. Yeah. I don't ever try. It gets a little splotchy here and there.
I had mine down to like the upper part of my chest at one time. And Bob and my wife, actually, it's because of them I shaved it, because at home I had to hear my wife, and at work I had to hear Bob. So I finally got to the point where I said, okay, I'm going to cut it down. And plus on top of that,
it was sad. I mean, he kept lunch in there. I mean, he would just kind of pull it out and eat it. It was disgusting.
I was going to say, as it is, Mike Banks, our GM, always yells at me before we have like a client saying, Chris, please get the stuff out of your beard. And it's not short now. When it was long, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty much a disgusting human being when it comes to eating. I should borderline be locked in a cage, because I just have no class or coot whatsoever when I eat. And it's pretty bad when your 7-year-old daughter says, Daddy, can you do me a favor and please eat better than that? I mean, so, yeah. And I'm fully admitting it.
That's why I shouldn't have white t-shirts.
Tell her, honey, I'm showing you what you don't want when you meet a boy. You don't want this.
It's a life lesson. A life lesson. So.
Everybody say good morning to Darren Ahern, your Frederick real estate update on WFMD on Saturday mornings.
It would be nice if Darren Ahern could be a bit more excitable. I mean, he's just such a low-key guy.
He is. It's so funny. But you know what? I have a way to get him excited and not low-key. All I got to do is say something bad about the Pittsburgh Penguins, and that will get Darren's blood pressure up the roof. So I can imagine he's low-key, but you take him to a hockey game, I bet you he's one of the ones banging on the, yelling at the players. We love you, Darren.
We do. Hey, how about those Mount St. Mary's Mountaineers?
Cow.
What a great game last night, right?
Yes. And I'm telling you, again, March Madness, there was the Alabama, I think it was the game that they ended up, it was at the buzzer, I think I was watching on TikTok real quick.
Alabama State. Yep.
Yeah.
So
unreal.
And now we get Duke. We get Duke. Let's beat Duke. Wouldn't that be amazing? Even if they'd lost. Be
a miracle game. It would be. I would love for it. I would love for it to go that way. Oh my goodness.
Well, they get to go dancing on the big stage, and I hope that they win. And if they don't win, I hope they keep it close, because that's my concern. I mean, it is Duke. I mean,
I know.
They're the blue chip players of the country, always have been, always will be, and and everybody else gets the rest. But on any given day, right?
Given day.
Donnie Lynn, do that Hoosiers moment where you measure out the basket and the length. Oh, that's another movie Chris hasn't seen, Hoosiers.
I have not.
Maybe you should watch that, Chris. because
But
that's
it's
based
not
on
on
a
the
true
list.
story.
It's not on the list, Bob. I have to go
Yeah,
what's
we should
on
have
the
added
list.
that. That was a good movie.
Hoosiers isn't on the list. I think
I don't
I
think
might have
so.
mentioned that.
I'd
Really?
forgotten about Hoosiers.
Oh man, especially because it's Gene Hackman.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go.
So then Wrath of Man should count because it wasn't on the list and I watched it.
No, it's the list that we create, not the list that you create.
Oh, I'm
Let's
sorry.
be honest.
I have no say. I have no say in the movies that I'm watching.
No, you don't. That's the deal.
I got to ask you this question because I wanted to bring up another topic before we get to news, but I have to ask you this question, okay? Does my wife, because she's a movie aficionado, does my wife have a say on what goes on the list? Because she said there are a few movies, and she's in our little group chat that we have for the movies. If she texts you some movies, will she have a say on what goes on the list?
Well, how do we? Well, we got to chat with her. I got to chat directly with her because I don't want that undue influence of you because she's such a great wife. You know, she's going to try to fight for your stuff.
Right. She just wants to be able to snuggle on the couch every now and then with him instead of, with his frogs.
Like Dirty Dancing or Magic Mike or something like that. Maybe. But
I could promise you, Danny, right now, she does not have my best interest at heart when it comes to the movies. She wants me to suffer, so she will tell it. Believe me, I promise you that. I give you my word on that. She does not, care about if I like it or not. She just wants to watch more. And the thing is, she watches the movies with me, so I think she also wants more of a variety, whatever. So I'll have her text you or email you that. Real quickly,
the list
Bob,
that is given to you has so much variety in it.
It does.
All you need to do is stop watching Taken 1, 2, 3. It's not like taking Pelham 1, 2, 3. It's not like Fast and Furious 68, 69, 70.
Cherry picking like the action or comedy or whatever. He's cherry picking the ones he thinks he's gonna like, I think.
Right.
Well, let's be honest here. Life is depressing enough. Do I really want to see a movie like where the two old people die and it's sad and it gets depressing? Do I want to get any more depressed than I already am? For God's sakes, I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, Danny. I'm depressed enough. Give me a break. Real quickly, I want to, and this is Bob for you and me too. Real quickly before we get to news, you brought up TikTok. I don't know if you heard this, but there's a billionaire who's actually wants to buy TikTok. And actually, Bob and I do know him. We've had him on the show a few times. His name is Reed Rasner. Bob, you remember Reed, right? We had him a few times on our show. I didn't know he was a billionaire, actually. But he's actually looking to buy, he wants to buy TikTok. So
there's a bunch of people that want to buy TikTok. Kevin O'Leary is trying to get people together. There's a bunch. I just don't think they're going to sell it. We
know Reed, so it's a lot easier to get him on. So we should reach out to him and get him on the show. I think that'd be an interesting topic again, Bob.
Love to talk with him about that.
So, all right. So I suppose I should get to news now, right? Let's see here. So as you probably heard, there was a town hall yesterday. It was actually a full house at Rosenstock Hall at Hood College, featuring the 6th District Representative April McLean Delaney and 8th District Representative, what's that guy's name again? Jamie Raskin. Jamie Raskin. Both answered questions from the audience. The event was billed as an effort to find out how the President Trump administration policies affected the 6th District. So I was hoping to attend that, but actually I didn't get it on time. But you can hear all the news bits on WFMD and also WFMD.com. And a study has been launched to determine the need for additional childcare in Frederick County. The Division of Family Services, along with Parks and Recreation, as well as Public Consulting Group, will be looking at the accessibility, affordability, and quality of childcare in the county. The county says this new study builds on the 2024 child care market study, which concentrated on families with young children. This new study will gather additional information on families with children from birth to age 12, including viable options for expanding the child care services to better support underserved communities. Look, I have a quick opinion on this. Obviously, me and my wife, we're middle class, we work hard. But childcare when our daughters, before they started school, was so expensive, and it took such a chunk out of our pay. It was really, really, really tough. So if something could be done, not just to help the underserved, but the middle class. Again, we're forgetting about the middle class. And me and Bob have talked about this. We're struggling as well. We see the price of eggs, childcare. So we could also use help with that too. So that's kind of something I think that should be looked to, in my opinion, on that. Anybody else have opinions on that?
Well, I mean, I think, it's a really valid point that I think we have a lot of, and this is why for me personally, I want the government to stay out of a lot of this stuff. We are blessed here in Frederick County with thousands of nonprofits that serve the underserved, right? We have a lot of every community has local churches and things like that that serve the underserved. And I think you're right, Chris. The middle class gets the burden of working and, not qualifying for a lot of those programs, whether government assistance or the nonprofits of the community. And it is tough. I'm not sure what the answer is because, again, anytime you get government involved in something, it just it balloons to something so crazy. And so I would love to find a free market solution to this issue. I remember even when my kids were in daycare, it was expensive. And so I totally understand it. I don't know what the answer is, but I'd love the free market to come up with some solutions, whether it is things like flexible working hours where parents can, tag team or, if there's some sort of way. I just don't want the government to come in and subsidize something or put something in place that artificially solves the problem, but really in the end it's not because it's coming out of our pockets anyway. So I don't know. Bob, what do you think?
Well, I will tell you a little story that when Linda and I were first married and I was working at WFMD, we couldn't afford daycare. So Linda was working. We switched hours. I started working. I did the afternoon show with Frank, and I would come in and I would watch my daughter and put her on a bus. I would watch my son, who was probably just a little toddler at that time, and I would drive into Frederick. I would go to Linda's work. I would hand Brian off, and then I would go work till midnight. And we did that for over a year and a half. It was one of the hardest years and a half of our lives because we never saw each other. And so, but we saved money by doing the handoff shuffle. Daycare is very expensive, and you have to find the right daycare. We've had people who we've walked in on just unexpectedly, and they were napping, and the kids were downstairs all playing. And I'm like, you can't do that. So you have to find the right ones. And I guess that's the only part of government or whatever, is that you got to make sure that they're safe. And there's got to be somebody who makes sure that the conditions are safe for your children. But, you have eyes and you have ears and you have a mouth. You can ask, you can watch, you can listen to what other people have to say about it.
Yeah. The other thing is right now on TikTok, it's become a huge trend that the millennials are complaining that it's harder for them because their parents aren't the grandparents that they grew up with, meaning many of their parents aren't doing the child care for them. I guess they figured that would happen. But a lot of the Gen Xers or, whatever are saying, well, we're working still. We're going to be working till we're 75 or 80 probably, right? And so their parents weren't, it was different. It was different times, there were, different debts and things like that. A lot of people did retire earlier. And so, yeah, that's I think another reason that this has become a bigger issue is because, and then you have on top of it that a lot of people waited much later to have children. I've got friends who all have grandkids now. My kids are only 21 and 19. I waited a long time, but these kids are waiting even longer now, which means some don't even have parents by the time their kids come. And so I think all of these things are contributing to what is now becoming a bigger issue.
Well, the biggest thing, Danny, I notice is, and I'm kind of in between the Gen Xer and millennials. My age group, I was born in '82, so we're kind of called Xennials. I think I kind of go with more the Gen Xers, but I think my parents' generation, which is the baby boomers, they weren't able to retire like their parents, the World War II generation, because that generation retired early because they had pensions. Pensions were a lot bigger back then. You didn't have a 401k, you didn't have IRAs, so you had pensions. They were able to, that was guaranteed money they were getting. They didn't have to work. And a lot of that generation too, the women stayed home all the time. So those grandparents were able to watch the kids. They never worked. With the baby boomer generation, it's different because the women mostly worked. They didn't have the pensions, and this is my opinion, they didn't have the pensions the parents have, so they had to work later in life, to make ends meet. And they're not able to babysit the kids like the previous generation was.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We are where we are.
So, all right, I just got one more bit of news. Sentence was handed down on Monday, March 17th, to a Middletown woman for felony theft in Frederick County Circuit Court. Cheryl Leah Gray, 50, was given 5 years incarceration with all but 60 days suspended. Should be placed on 5 years of supervised probation and must pay restitution of $65,000. That's all. The Maryland Attorney General's office says Gray had been convicted on April 5th, 2024 for theft between $25,000 and $100,000 when she was working in the insurance industry. She was ordered at that time to pay restitution. And we wonder why insurance premium rates are so high. Well, that's one reason right there. Getting into weather, looks like today it's going to be another nice day. It's going to be cloudy. When I say nice day, I mean temperature-wise, it's going to be 69. It's going to be cloudy with occasional rain during the afternoon, thunder possible. So you might want to bring out those umbrellas. And if you walk to pick up your kids in school like I do, make sure you bring an extra umbrella for the kids. My daughter's got a cute little Hello Kitty umbrella, which I couldn't find my umbrella, so I had to use her little Hello Kitty umbrella. And my head is bigger than that whole umbrella itself, but I was cute with the little ear sticking up, I will say. So just be aware of that. And tomorrow for your TGIF, it's going to be mainly sunny. It's going to be a little cooler, high 58. Then tomorrow night, partly cloudy during the evening, followed by cloudy skies overnight.
Well, there you go. And we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Mount St. Mary's drained 3-point buckets with about 7 seconds into the game. They made their first 3 tries, and they built a 19-point lead with about 3 minutes left to go in the game. They won their play-in game against American by a score of 83-72 for the right to play Duke in the first round of the real NCAA tournament. That will take place tomorrow afternoon at 2:50. And oh yeah, Duke doesn't have to go too far. That's going to be at Raleigh, North Carolina, so they can go have breakfast somewhere and then go play basketball. FCC saw college softball yesterday. Saw the Lady Cougars split a doubleheader with Cecil. They lost the first game 7-2. They won the nightcap by a score of 12-3. And the college baseball yesterday, Hood defeated Notre Dame of Maryland by a score of 13-3. Keegan Brennan drew 3 walks, scored 3 times, stole 4 bases, and he got his 100th career hit as the Blazers rolled. So congratulations going out to him. Frederick High Tyler Nill threw 6 scoreless innings, scattering 3 hits to earn the win. So that was a great day in local sports.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. We will come back to you tomorrow to wrap up the week. Have
a great day, everybody. Good morning, Frederick.
All right. Want to thank them so much. All right. We're going to jump into some sponsorship ads because we got to pay for the show. And then we're going to come back to talk about some of the events going on in and around Frederick. We've got Kevin from Frederick Auto Body and Nick and Sean from For the Win Books.
Cosmec Healing handcrafted small batch tinctures and transdermal salves, double third-party tested for quality you can trust. If you've got pain, headaches, or anxiety, our products are here to help you find relief. Patient over profits mindset, 'cause we're patients too. CosmecHealing.com.
Real estate goddess, yeah. She's the one to get you there. Homes and dreams are perfect, yeah. Shining finally beyond compare.
There's no more essential piece of jewelry than your wedding band, and Colonial Jewelers Wedding Band Weekend is the best time to get one. Enjoy the area's largest selection of quality, made-to-last wedding bands in every price range and style, and all on sale. Save an extra $100 on your purchase when you book an appointment, and take advantage of our special financing options. Colonial Jewelers Wedding Band Weekend, March 20th through 22nd. The Colonial Jewelers box. There's just more in it.
Travel better with Antietam World Travel Service, your gateway to worry-free journeys. With their extensive network, unmatched experience, and personalized services, you can explore the world with confidence and ease. When you work with Antietam World Travel Service, you get convenience, experience, and connections. Go to AntietamTravel.com now and get started on your dream vacation. All right, we're getting to Happening in Frederick, sponsored by Taco Bar in Frederick and Gaithersburg and Taquito in Hagerstown. Taco Bar is located in West Point Plaza off Route 40 in Frederick and 3 Russell Avenue in Gaithersburg. And Taquito is at 812 Frederick Street in Hagerstown. They all offer authentic Mexican cuisine, excellent food at a very affordable price. But Taquito has the drive-through experience. So if you're driving through Hagerstown, you're on Frederick Street, you can go right in and grab something you want. They also have a walk-up window too. And now that the weather's nice, they have outdoor seating there. It's so nice to sit out at those tables and eat the delicious food from Taquito or Taco Bar. TacoBar1.com or Taquito by Taco Bar.com. Those are the places you can go for great food. All right, let's get into what is happening today. As I said, free ice day at Rita's, noon to 9 p.m. Tomorrow, the Flying Cows are at Hood College. They are home. If you texted to win those tickets, please check your texts. And I just need a name and an email address, and we'll have the tickets for you. You can enter to win those tickets anytime. I've got tickets for all season long. So go ahead and text COWS to 888-465-2944. And you'll be automatically registered to win every time we do a giveaway. Let's see what's up. Saturday, 9 to 3:30. This is a very cool event. I saw this yesterday and added it to the calendar. The 8th annual Bounce, which stands for believing in ourselves and understanding nothing comes easy. It is a male youth summit. It is at FCC. I'd never even heard of this event. 8 years it's been happening, and it sounds phenomenal. 10 to 2 is Select Seconds $5 per bag sale. They supply the bag. You bring your $5 and you can fill it up. 11 to 4, come on up to the home of everything Frederick. We have pop-up vendor event every weekend. And Saturday, it is Sand Dollar Studios with handcrafted, affordable jewelry. Really, really cute stuff. The 27th, High Rock presents the Craft of Brand Personality. That is being held at 10th Ward. I think if you go to Eventbrite, you can get details about that and register. And the 28th is the second annual Battle for South Mountain basketball game at Brunswick High School. March 29th, how to turkey hunt and trout fishing for kids 6 to 17. That sounds like a really, really cool event. Free lunch will be served there. 11 to 1. It is the Seton Center 5K. On April 1st, I'm inviting you to join me at 401 North Market Street. We'll be streaming the 1-year anniversary of Good Morning Frederick. We'll stream it live. First 10 people through the door are going to get a Good Morning Frederick special 1-year anniversary t-shirt and 50% off all Good Morning Frederick merch from 9 to 11 a.m. only. Don't miss it. And you can also obviously stream the show live as well. On April 2nd, we do our monthly cocktails and conversation at the home of everything Frederick. It is one of the best networking opportunities out there. And we'll get to this last one, April 5th, the Youth Fishing Rodeo on Color Lake from 10 to noon. And from 11 to 1, it is Sip, Sample, and Shop. Come have some mimosas and learn all about Neora beauty products. They're supposed to be clean and results driven. We're going to find out for sure. April 6th is that Focus Cash Bingo on Willowdale. Is it Willowdale Drive? Yeah, Willowdale Drive. Elks Lodge. Goodness, I'll have to fix that. $200 per game prize, though. That's a pretty big cash prize per game. And on April 10th, it is Take Back the Night at Hood College to support the survivors of power-based violence. If you have an event you want included on the calendar, all you have to do is email it to everythingfredericklive@gmail.com, and we will get it on for you and included on our Everything Frederick calendar, which has tons of events every single day. You're going to want to refer to it, especially if you've got visitors from out of town who want to know what's going on or preparing for the summer for the kids or when they're off of school. You can check out the calendar for lots of great ideas. Okay, let's get to who is making our market amazing. Market Makers is sponsored by Intense Barbecue, family-owned barbecue food truck and catering company cooking in small batches to ensure that the food is as fresh as it can be. You can find them at intensebarbecue.com. It's IN, the number 1, the number 0, SE. BBQ.com. When you have their food, you will satisfy your meat tooth. All right, I got a chance to meet Kevin from Frederick Auto Body. He's a neighbor just on the other end of 4th Street. If you have any issues with your car, dents, scratches, or an accident, reach out to Kevin. Here he is.
401 North Market Street, and Kevin came in to visit me today from Frederick Auto Body. You are literally on the other side of 4th Street, though, right down the road.
I am. We could walk there if you'd like.
We could walk there on a warmer day. I would be happy
exactly.
to.
We'll do it in the summer.
That's right. That's right. Frederick Auto Body, you said you established in 2005.
Yeah, right about.
But you took a name, you wanted a name for the business, and one was available of something that had been here for a long, long time.
Yes. Frederick Auto Body was around. I have a lot of old timers come in. You fixed my car back in. I'm thinking to myself, it's not really us.
Yeah.
But it's an old, it's an old name.
Yeah.
It's been around for a long time.
Right.
But we've been Frederick Auto Body since about 2004.
Now, have you been in the same location, 4th Street, this whole time?
We have.
Okay.
We have.
When I remember, because I've been there, you guys are bursting at the seams.
Yes.
Because you're so busy, because you're so good at doing the work.
Yes.
It's like Tetris to
It
get
is.
Cars in and out.
It is.
Guys are very good at that.
Oh, there's times where we're just like, where are we going to put these cars?
Yeah.
You know where to put them.
You need to go up.
Yeah,
maybe.
exactly.
I
mean, the lot is okay size, but not nearly big enough for what we have. We actually rented a auxiliary lot to put more cars in the last year or two because we couldn't do it anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we have another spot around the corner.
Okay, well, that's a smart solution, I guess, just to make because sometimes with body work, it takes some time to get the parts in, to do the stuff you need to do, and all of that.
Yes.
So.
And sometimes a car gets towed in from either customer or insurance company. We take one look at it. We know it's a total.
Yeah.
We know we're not going to fix it. The airbags are blown and
right.
whatever, and those can sit for weeks.
Before somebody comes in.
Yeah, before it gets done, before they get their tags, before it gets totaled. So we take that to the other lot.
Yeah. That's a good thing to take up space over there.
Especially if it's a non-drivable, if it's all popped and the suspensions, we get a lot of those.
Yeah. So how did you get into auto body? Where did that come from?
Well, I've always been a car guy growing up. I've always had older cars. I've got a bunch of classic cars, and that's what sort of fueled it. I had another completely unrelated business, and I've always wanted to get in the body shop business, and I've always loved Frederick. So for me, it was an easy decision. I mean, I live down in northern Montgomery County, but I didn't want to go into business there. I wanted to be here because you can build a more of a community business here. There's Montgomery County is no community.
Yeah.
Gaithersburg, Germantown, all those places, they're great.
Yeah.
But you're not going to stand out. You're not going to be able to, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
So this opportunity came up, and it's it's taken us years to build it, but slowly but surely by just doing great work and being part of the community, it's worked out.
Yeah, and I think there's no place like Frederick. I've never experienced anything like it. I've lived in some different places, and you're right. Like the community, not only the support you give to the community, but the community will pay it back tenfold.
Absolutely.
And do that. So when somebody comes to you, it's obviously through a bunch of different things. Something is dinged their paint, or they've been in an accident, or something like that, and then they find you somehow and bring their car to you, and then you guys do what you do best.
That's exactly right. I've got funny stories of all sorts of things. Mostly it's just an accident. I got hit in a parking lot, I got rear-ended. That's the majority of it. Every now and then we get a pretty funny one. We just had one, we had one where a guy came around a corner and a horse sat in his hood of the car. On a brand new Tahoe, and it's just the whole thing squished in.
My God!
Yeah, he couldn't believe
imagine?
It. Yeah, we have deer hits and all that stuff, but this was
a
horse, and we've had some other funny ones. But most of the time it's a collision of some sort or something, and no job's too big or too small.
Yeah,
we'll take from the littlest scratch and door ding to something that's a train wreck. We'll do either one.
Do any of the products that we see on social media, do they really work? Like the removing the scratch, matching the paint, those pens they sell, any of those? No. Okay.
No.
Good to know.
And the other thing is we do get a call every now and then and say, hey, can you touch this up? And that's old school thinking. What's happened, without getting too technical, is now we have what's called water base. So it used to be the paint, you just would spray the paint on and that was it. Now you have to spray down, it's in layers. First you put the color, then you put the clear down, so it makes it impossible to actually touch something up at a body shop.
Okay.
So, and they look like crap anyway when you do it. You can always still see it, but none of those products work really. They just don't.
At what point, though, if your car is scratched? Because it's funny, I was shopping for a car for my son's girlfriend, and we were looking at some used vehicles, and they had a bunch of the scratches in where the door handle is, where people like might have rings or keys, and really, really scratched up. And not that would have affected the car, and it wasn't why we didn't buy it. But is there an easy way to fix that? Or because you have to remove a bunch of stuff, right? You got to remove the handles and take care of all that. So that's a decent job then.
It is. The rule of thumb is if there's a scratch or a scrape, if you take your fingernail and you go up and down, if you hear it go click, 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 that's when it needs paint.
Okay.
If it doesn't click, 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 and in the cases of that door handle, that can usually be buffed out with some compounds and stuff.
Okay.
So we have people come in, they say, oh, my car is scratched, and we go like this, and we take a little compound, and it goes away. And then we have other people who say, I've got a teeny scratch, and the whole side of their car is destroyed. So it goes both ways. We're like, you call that a scratch? So it does. But that's the trick. If you take your fingernail and you go click, 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 and even then, sometimes they can be buffed out.
Okay.
We always try to do it as, we treat it like it's our car. I don't want to paint the whole side of a car with something that could buff out.
Right.
And
how about paint matching? Like, how hard is it now? Now there's so many. It used to be, I'm sure even when you started, there was white, black, red, blue. Now you got these colors like my future daughter-in-law bought with ceramic.
Yeah.
And the girl was like, we got to put a color for MVA. They don't see ceramic. So are we closer to white? Are we closer to gray? Or what is it? How hard is it now, part of your job?
So it's funny you say that. So when I got started, it was like that. You would have, every car is a paint code, but there's variances, depending on when it was, what factory and all stuff. We, a couple of years ago, we bought a system. It's a color spectrometer camera. And essentially, it'll analyze the paint like it's incredible. Analyze the paint. It takes a bunch of different picture angles, and it will tell you the perfect match and the perfect formula.
Wow.
So our color match now is on point. It can't always be perfect. Just sometimes there's some fading and some other stuff, but we have some tricks to alleviate that. But color match for us is, we used to have all the time where they come out of the paint. This is years ago, and I take it out. I'm like, I don't know about that. That looks like an Easter egg. It's different, but that never happens anymore with this system. So I'm really happy to have it. It's made a huge difference in quality for people.
Well, that's where you use technology for good. And I would imagine in your years now here, technology has changed. And
definitely.
Is it making your jobs easier? make the jobs faster, or is it still the same at just utilizing other things?
It's a little of each.
Yeah.
You know, some of it has been great, the technology, especially with some of the tools we have and stuff. And some of the stuff is, I think what's changed the most in my time is all the safety equipment and the cameras and the computers and the
Right.
airbag systems, and they've got to be right.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you know, it's a fairly minor collision, and then it turns out that, you know, the main camera sensor and the braking system needs to be recalibrated and replaced, and that could be thousands of dollars, you know,
Right.
$1,500, even if it just needs to be recalibrated. Because there's liability issues there, we bring a third party in that's certified in every manufacturer.
Okay.
Because with airbags and that, you don't need somebody. We need to fix a bumper,
Yeah.
and then the automatic braking system doesn't work.
Right.
We can't take that chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we bring someone in, and he's fabulous.
Yeah.
And so we have that. But yeah, that would be the thing. I think it's the technology.
Yeah.
That's
Any
really changed.
maker model, you guys?
Oh yeah, any maker model.
Okay.
Any maker
Even
model.
electric vehicles
Oh yeah,
and all of that.
EVs,
Okay.
all that stuff. Tesla gets a little tricky. Teslas we can do if it's minor. Tesla's the only one that, unless you're a Tesla certified shop, they won't sell you structural parts.
Okay.
So they'll sell you bumpers and hoods and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we do those from time to
Gotcha.
time. Tesla's the only one that's a little tricky. There's not a ton of them up here.
Yeah.
But we get them every now and then. We do, you know, one,
Yeah.
two a month.
Yeah.
You know, but every now and then we have to turn it away. We're like, because there's so many electronics on there, and that's the other thing. Is our guy can't
Yeah.
get the Tesla stuff.
Yeah.
So if it's beeping and booping, you
Yeah,
got to take it
gotta-
to Tesla, and you're not going to see the car for 2 months.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Exactly. How can Frederick support you? Because you've been so great about supporting the Frederick community.
I mean, I would just say, like we had discussed before, pretty much all the bigger shops have been bought. They're no longer locally owned. I used to know the owners. They were local guys. They took care of their customers. They cared. Pretty much any big shop in town is now owned by a big company, been bought, even if they didn't change their name. A couple that kept their name, but those owners aren't there anymore.
Right.
And people know it. We've had people come and they say, oh, I took my car to so-and-so and they did such a great job. I took it this time. It was terrible.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I said, because this big national company owns it now. And they only really care, most of the time, they only care about insurance companies because
Right.
that's the model for these big national companies.
Yeah.
We don't get in bed with insurance companies. The big ones, we have some smaller ones just for convenience purposes. But we're not a show for any insurance company.
Yeah.
You know, we'd rather fight them and make sure that the customer gets a proper repair. We don't really so much care about the insurance companies.
Yeah.
And we've had people that, you know, they go into these other shops and they're like, wow, they were like jerks to me. I'm like, yeah, because you were paying out of pocket, and they've got
Yeah.
Geico's going to send them 30 cars this week. You
Right.
think they care about
Yeah.
you? They
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
So
That's
I would
so
say that's
interesting
it.
to
Yeah.
know for sure.
Throw us
We
the best ways.
appreciate you
Oh,
walking down
no.
the street to see us, and we'll walk up next time to see you.
Absolutely.
This is Frederick Auto Body. This is Kevin, the owner. And if you have any work that you need done, big or small, take it by. They'll take care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you.
for watching.
All right. Want to thank Kevin for that, for coming to visit. What a great guy. Really, I have had some work done there, actually, on a work vehicle. Formerly, they did a great job. Want to say good morning to Michelle Payton. And of course, here's Mama Cone. She is here as well, tuning in to Good Morning Frederick. Got to count on your parents for that, for sure. All right, we're going to take one more quick break. Then we're going to be back with Nick and Sean, who have written a children's book. And it's very, very good, I think, for a first attempt anyway. All right, we'll be back right after this.
Dream Free Art, Frederick's first and only splatter room. New location, new beginner-friendly artful shenanigans for all ages. Come fling paint and make a masterpiece in Dream Free Art's splatter room, or join us for a fun and unique art experience. Book your next birthday party, corporate event, date night, or family outing at dreamfreeart.com to unleash your inner artist today. Dream Free Art. Free your creativity.
This portion of Good Morning Frederick is powered by Ken's Automotive and Transmissions, Total Car Care. Need an oil change or brakes? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can take care of that. How about exhaust or engine work? Ken's Automotive and Transmissions can do that too. No matter what you need for your car, Ken's Automotive and Transmissions is Total Car Care. Go to kenstrans.com to schedule an appointment today.
A&S Construction is a local and award-winning woman and minority-owned business, and they are right here in Frederick, servicing Frederick and the surrounding areas. A&S Construction specializes in roofing and siding. They can also take care of windows and gutters and even build a new patio or deck. All you got to do is call 301-703-2157 or email info@ansconstruction.net. Remember, you get $750 off any roof or siding replacement or $50 off any roof repairs. All you have to do is let Sandra know you saw her on Good Morning Frederick. Here's the screens. Oh, I just took it right off of you. There we go. Jeez Louise. Got the screen for you right here so you can screenshot it. Oh boy. There we go. It's always a great day here. All right, let's talk about who else is making our market phenomenal. All right, Market Makers is sponsored by Maryland Lottery with tons of ways to win. Hot scratch-offs like Big Money, where a $5 ticket could net you $50,000, or the $2 Monopoly ticket with a top prize of $10,000. Go to mdlottery.com for all the details. Plus, you can download the app and scan your tickets to see if you're a winner. You must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. All right, I got a chance to meet Nick and Sean. They wrote a book. Here they are. Creative people, and I'm so excited I have the opportunity to meet Nick and Sean for the Win books. You guys have come together to write It's Spoiler Time. This is a great, great book. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to our audience. Welcome to the program, Nick and Sean.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, first I have to ask, how did the two of you, how long have you got, did you guys go to school together? Have you guys been friends for a long time?
So we met 7 years ago, and it's actually when I reached out to him to work on this book together. Yes, you heard that right. It's been about
7 years?
That's how we just care so much about this book and the life and COVID and our schedules. You know, but again, we put so much care into this book. We said we might need to add a couple pages to make this book exactly how we want it. And he said it might take another year, you know that? And we said, well, it'll be worth it when it's finally out.
So you guys, this has been a long, long project. And you know, here's the thing though, when you're passionate about something and you're investing in it, you want to put out the best thing, right? And so I can understand why you wanted to take your time and do that. And this isn't your full-time gig either, right? So Nick, you were just telling me you are a third grade teacher.
Absolutely. Yep. I'm a third grade school teacher in Montgomery County. And I guess you could say my first full-time job is I'm a husband and a father of 5 kids.
Oh my gosh.
5 kids. They range from fourth grade, third grade, a 4-year-old, and then twins that are a year and a half.
My God bless your wife and you. Wow.
And but it makes this story even more special having my kids involved with it, and they're reading it every night now. But yeah, so I teach in Montgomery County third grade. You know, where my family and then the kids that I teach, I just think of what they need, you know, in this world or for their personal self. And I think that this book is a great message for those students.
So did they critique you, like editing notes and things like that, your kids?
Oh, for sure. And I know, you know, his kids and then my son has also found an error in the book, and they thought that was the best thing that has ever happened.
Great proofreaders.
So they're learning their own skills and loving how to correct, you know, Mr. Sean and then
Yeah. All right, Sean. So you are by trade a graphic designer.
That's correct.
But there's got to be something interesting about bringing life to actual characters and your thought process behind that. So tell me, like, how that came about. What made you decide on these particular characters, and was it tough to make them all look different and give them their own personalities?
Yeah. So my background with art, like of course, is with graphic design, but I'm also quite a pencil artist as well. So when developing these characters, after Nick and I discussed about like the vision of the book and how we want everything to feel, we sort of settled in on more of a comic book feel for the kind of art. And from there, we just kind of went into the lab and started just doing some sketches. Each of the characters, and we knew that each of the characters needed to be unique and be relatable to the audience. And they're all coming from a very diverse background. Now, and when you read the book, you'll see some of the background of these characters. And so I think we really focused on that when developing the look and the way that they move in the book. And so we did have a little brainstorming session of coming up with different characters, but I feel like our vision was so clear. From the very beginning, we knew exactly what we wanted it. Like we had the same vision. Nick kind of gave me the rundown of everything. I was like, I got it. I got it. Exactly what you mean. And then very soon thereafter, I sent him the ideas, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly what I was thinking." And it was kind of natural for me, again, being a graphic designer, taking the pencil drawings and then illustrating them onto a computer. So again, this is the first time I've done a children's book, doing any kind of illustration, but it was really a joy.
Yeah, I mean, you can really tell. And the great thing is too, I mean, as I was reading the story, I related with several of the issues or obstacles that some of your characters came across. And so I'd love to know though, who is the coach or the special guest based on? Did you have somebody in mind for that?
No, not really.
Actually, no. I think what we wanted is kind of like a tall, dark character, like
a grand entrance.
Someone that you could look up to. He looked big.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think in our childhood, whether you played sports or around people, there's always somebody like that in the realm of high school sports, youth league sports. You always have kind of that one person, and I loved how you kind of brought all that together. All right, so this is not the last endeavor for you guys. You guys are kickstarting this. When did you launch the book?
A couple months ago.
Okay, and how's it going so far?
Oh, it's going fantastic. We had one order come in, about 50 books, and those were gone within a couple weeks. And we thank our friends and family for that, and colleagues that we both work with who really support it. But then the feedback from them, we say we would love your honest feedback, and they give it. And they also say it's been a joy to read, and that it causes family discussions for them about that they're really happy about, that they can have with their kids. Talking about how the feedback has been so great from even my students. I'd love to show you some fan mail.
Oh my gosh, yes.
All right. Did you want to hold the book out so they can see the resemblance as well? All right. So you see the characters here. Now, a student took their time and meant this much to them, and that's what it's all about for us. That they made a 3D plastic figure.
Oh my goodness.
Of the character. So that's one. Then we have another character right here.
Holy cow. That's excellent.
And then
so good.
One of another favorite is the guy right in the middle. So
holy cow. Sean, you might be out of a job. I don't know.
And so in addition to we're also trying to inspire the kids to do art themselves, whether it's 3D art. On our website, we actually offer some resources for kids to follow along doing coloring. We have crossword puzzles, word searches.
Love it.
This is interactive for the for people in the classroom, or something you want to do at home as well.
Yeah, very good. Now, Nick, is there any issues with Montgomery County putting these in public libraries or the school libraries, or are you able to get it through?
Yeah, it's all about the process. I can't promote it within the school necessarily, but
of
if I
course.
want it into all Montgomery County public schools in the library system, we have to submit it, and they need to approve it, and then from there, then yeah, we don't want any conflict of interest, but we also want it in every library we can get it
Of
into.
course. So right now, where can people get the book?
So people can get the book if they go to our website, forthewinbooks.com.
Okay.
Fill out their information, and we have, as of right now, we have two options. We have the hardcover, which is a limited edition. I think we maybe have 10, 15 of those left, and we're offering for those particular books to be sold with a little note, personalized autograph from both
Nice.
of us. And then, of course, we have plenty of softcover versions that we have made a second shipment of. So they can go directly there. You can also catch us on Facebook. We've opportunities like this or other opportunities that come in the future, we'll have those posted on our page.
Well, I think anytime you can make, you know, a nice a story that's great, right? And there's lessons, and I love. I'm not going to spoil it, but I love the fact that it's not everybody gets a trophy, and it's really about hard work and being healthy and having the right attitude and all of that. But then it's also colorful, and it's like more graphic novelty. And so, like, some of these kids, I know my son loved graphic novels in elementary school. The biggest thing is it's so important for kids to enjoy reading. So when the stories are good, the characters are people they relate to, and it's fun, I think that's a home run. So I truly believe you guys are going to have no trouble at all. Again, I was saying before we started, you guys are more than welcome to come to the home of everything Frederick. We'd love to do like a story time or book signing, or we can, do stuff like that and get our parents excited about this. But we're looking forward to this really going off the charts for you guys, and then seeing what the next iterations are around the corner. Hopefully not 7 years, but I think soon, I'm sure once you guys taste the success, this will keep moving.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. We've already talked about that's why we wrote it. It wasn't for attention. It wasn't for money. It's to go do community events and to just bring the community together.
Well, we really appreciate you guys. forthewinbooks.com. Get your copies. And if you're with an organization that works with kids, maybe a local daycare or other childcare center, these would be great to have in your classrooms. The story is great. You'll love it. And I'd love to see this be a huge success for you both.
Thank you
so much,
Danny.
Danny.
All right. How great is that? The story is very cute. I love the illustrations. They did an amazing job. All right. That is it for us today. We will come back tomorrow right here at 9 a.m. to wrap up the week. Please share the stream with people. Mention Good Morning Frederick. See if they've seen us yet, and subscribe to us on YouTube so we can guarantee you will see the show every day when you go on there. We thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there, have a great day, and be great.